All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this situation right here. Uh, Now, everybody that was all outraged and all mad that Diddy did all that stuff allegedly, and Diddy was put in handcuffs, and you guys were out there celebrating that stuff. I need you to be equally as outraged about this. I need you guys to be equally as outraged about this because this was disgusting, right? Now, what's up, Nate Damp? And so, before we get deeper into it, we got to go on a trip down memory lane. So we're gonna hop in this DeLorean or a hot tub time machine. I'm gonna go back a couple years ago on a Fox News interview where then employee Tucker Carlson spoke with Matt Gaetz about these allegations that came out against him. Oh yeah, by the way, Fox News fair use. So we're gonna go in here. We're gonna talk about this thing right here, right? Because I want to see the same vigor, the same outrage. What's up, Ted? I'm glad you enjoyed the content, bro. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for always supporting the channel, Ted. But yeah, we're gonna get in here, right? We're gonna take a look at that interview with then employee Tucker Carlson did with Matt Gaetz. That creeper, creeper, right? So, without further ado, DJ, spin that shit.
Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz is under federal investigation for playing some role in sex trafficking and potentially having a relationship with a 17-year-old girl. There are very few details in major news outlets tonight about this story. We have no background on it all and not even any very informed questions. Instead, we've invited Congressman Gaetz on the show to respond to these stories and give us his view of them. Congressman, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it. So this is obviously a serious allegation. Tell us what the truth is from your perspective.
It is a horrible allegation, and it is a lie. The New York Times is running a story that I have traveled with a 17-year-old woman, and that is verifiably false. People can look at my travel records and see that that is not the case. What is happening is an extortion of me.
Don't worry, we're going to look at your travel records soon enough there, Maddie.
And my family involving a former Department of Justice official. On March 16th, my father got a text message demanding a meeting wherein a person demanded $25 million in exchange for making horrible sex trafficking allegations against me go away.
That's a lie.
Our family was so troubled by that, we went to the local FBI. And the FBI and the Department of Justice were so concerned about this attempted extortion of a member of Congress that they asked my dad to wear a wire, which he did with the former Department of Justice official. Tonight, I am demanding that the Department of Justice and the FBI release the audio recordings that were made under their supervision and at their direction, which will prove my innocence and that will show that these allegations aren't true. They're merely intended to try to bleed my family out of money. And this former Department of Justice official tomorrow was supposed to be contacted by my father so that specific instructions could be given regarding the wiring of $4.5 million as a down payment on this bribe. I don't think it's...
Okay, we're not going to get into that because that's not more than a diversion tactic to try to take away from the fact that this man got involved with underage girls. You nasty ass bastard.
It's a coincidence that tonight, somehow, the New York Times is leaking this information, smearing me, and ruining the investigation that would likely result in one of the former colleagues of the current DOJ being brought to justice for trying to extort me and my family.
So a couple of obvious questions that come to mind. And again, just to restate, this just happened. Don't have any other information beyond what we've already said and you have said. First of all, who is this Department of Justice former employee who's trying to extort the money from you, you say?
His name is David McGee. He was a top official in the leadership in the Northern District of Florida as a prosecutor. He currently works at the Beggs and Lane law firm. As a matter of fact, one of the recordings that was made at the FBI and Department of Justice request occurred at that law firm. And the money that was supposed to be paid today that would have shown even more evidence of David McGee's work in this extortion scheme, that was foiled by the New York Times story. And I believe that's why this horrible information and these terrible allegations have been used this evening.
So
man, whatever.
I don't remember the woman you're speaking of or the context at all.
He wouldn't cop to the fact that somehow I was involved in some pay-for-play scheme that she could face trouble. And so I do believe that there are people at the Department of Justice who are trying to smear me, providing for flights and hotel rooms for people that you're dating who are of legal age is not a crime. And I'm just troubled that the lack of any sort of legitimate investigation into me would then convert into this extortion attempt.
I don't remember the woman you're speaking of or the context at all, honestly. But I would like to know who. So they're saying there is a 17-year-old girl who you had a relationship with. Is that true? And who are they? Who is this girl? What are they talking about? The New York Times.
The person doesn't exist. I have not had a relationship with a 17-year-old. That is totally false. The allegation, as I read it in the New York Times, is that I've traveled with some 17-year-old in some relationship. That is false, and records will bear that out to be false.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about that, right? Let's get into this meat and potatoes right here, right? Because I don't understand how Matt Gaetz is not in prison right now, right? I don't understand it. So now, 3 years ago, after that report came out, after Matt Gaetz went on that little screen on Fox News alongside Tucker Carlson, the DOJ ultimately decided to not press charges. I don't know how you don't press charges on this man. I don't know how you don't. It's pretty obvious what he fucking did. But everybody's so outraged about Diddy, right? Everybody, is like, oh man, how could Diddy do this and how could Diddy do that, right? But they're not outraged about this. So let's look at Matt Gaetz' travel record, right? Because he was like, oh, that's the one thing that's going to clear me. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see if what he says bears fruit. I'm of the belief that it won't. Coming from the Daily Beast, Matt Gaetz says his travel records would exonerate him not so fast. When it first came out that Representative Matt Gaetz was under investigation for sex trafficking with a 17-year-old, the Florida Republican says travel records would exonerate him is a horrible allegation and the lie that, as you saw on that particular interview. What Gaetz knew or should have known is that there is no such public record, at least not when it comes to his private life. There are, however, campaign filings. Amongst all the Matt Gaetz revelations was the news that the Justice Department is looking into the Florida Republicans' potential use of campaign funds for personal expenses. That is a federal crime. If you use campaign money for personal use, that is a crime. That is a federal crime. And the reality of those campaign finance reports is that they raise more questions than they answer about the alleged scandals. The spending surrounding the Gaetz campaign simply doesn't say what he wants it to say. One of the reports don't offer specific information, and two, it's not clear whether he's even saying that the campaign filings will exonerate him. If he's paying out of pocket, we won't know the answers without a subpoena. This is at the time. Now, September 2nd, 2018, Joel Greenberg, he was a tax collector down near Florida and one of Matt Gaetz' running buddies, asked one of his tax office employees to make an emergency replacement driver's license for Gaetz, who Greenberg said had lost his ID the night before. we're gonna get to the party here in a second, right? We're gonna get to the party here in a second. Campaign finance, Federal Election Commission filing for August, September, revealing only one expense to an Orlando vendor. $439.91 charge to the upscale Rosen Center Hotel, paid September 28 as part of the campaign's monthly credit card bill. According to the review, the Gaetz campaign committee, friend of Matt Gaetz, has over the last 4 years spent about $57,000 on airfares, $57,000 on lodging, $9,000 on miscellaneous travel, $40,000 on gifts, and $24,000 on meals. It's possible that all these expenses are legitimate. The Gaetz campaign did not reply to the questions about the expenditures, but the DOJ was looking at the campaign spending reports. Perhaps the most mysterious one is one of his smallest, a parking fee. A parking fee? Gaetz' campaign also dropped about $3,000 at the 4-star Balboa Bay restaurant in Newport Beach, California. He paid up front for the first visit and was subsequently reimbursed by the campaign. However, the only public report of a campaign-related Gaetz sighting in the area was from October 26, 2020, when he addressed the Freedom Forum in Newport Beach. FEC filings reflect the payment to the resort of $475 3 weeks later. So basically, all this travel, right? And there's more spending and all that, man. This man was spending this money, and he was out there doing the most with this money, allegedly. What's up, Black Spider? Salute to my sister in the building. And once again, thank you for your donation a couple days ago. But yeah, Matt Gaetz ain't innocent, if you ask me. This Batman ain't innocent at all. Now, you can't really see him off to the right. That's the guy, Joel Greenberg, off to the right. Right? Now, he's currently in prison right now for rolling with Matt Gaetz, right? He is currently in prison for the same damn thing Matt Gaetz is under investigation for. So make it make sense. How can a person who is in the same room with you at the same time, partying, doing drugs, having sex with underage girls, Matt Gaetz is still a congressman, and yet his road dog, Joe Greenberg, a tax collector out in Florida, he is in prison right now for the same damn thing. They was in the same damn room at the same damn time. So one guy is in prison right now, and the other guy is an active congressman. Make it make sense. But everybody's so outraged about Diddy. Where's the outrage for this guy? Where is the outrage for Matt Gaetz? Matt Gaetz has no business as a sitting congressman right now. He just doesn't. If you were outraged at Diddy and all that, you should be equally, if not more, outraged. Your outrage should be on fucking steroids when it comes to Matt Gaetz. In the summer of 2017, U.S. Representative Matt Gaetz, a Florida Panhandle Republican, attended a party filled with drugs and paid escorts that was hosted by former state representative Chris Dorworth. Chris Dorworth is the guy right here off to the left. So the guy off to the left is Chris Dorworth. At the center is Matt Gaetz, a.k.a. Quagmire. And then off to the right is Joe Greenberg, who's currently rotting away in prison right now. One of the escorts attending the get-together was a 17-year-old girl known as A.B. in court filings, who is at the center of the Joe Greenberg sex trafficking scandal. Call girls roamed the premises with access to the bedrooms and the Dorworth residence to engage in sexual activities as well as alcohol, cocaine, ecstasy, also known as Molly and marijuana, according to statements and quoted in the documents. Oh yeah, by the way, before we continue, this video contains strong language may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate to children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Before we continue on, because yeah, it's about to get dark with this shit, right? Matt Gaetz should be in prison right now, along with his homeboy Joe Greenberg. The case filing material emerging as part of Doer's April 2023 federal lawsuit against his former friend Greenberg includes some of the most extensive details made public so far regarding a sex trafficking controversy that has swirled around Gaetz for years. Now, look, I got to put this disclaimer out there, right? The age of consent varies by state. However, you cannot go across state lines underage. That's where the crime comes in. So if they're bringing in these underage girls for these sex parties, then how come this guy, Chris Dorworth, isn't in prison? How come Matt Gaetz isn't in prison, but Joe Greenberg is? Make it make sense. If they're at this house, they're at this man's house. Okay, whatever. The case file as part of Dover's April 2023 federal lawsuit against his former friend Greenberg includes some of the most extensive details made public so far regarding sex trafficking controversy that has swirled around Gaetz for several years. But while witnesses place him at the scene of the illicit activity, the documents don't include the allegations or the evidence that Gaetz himself had used illicit drugs or had sex with the underage girl, a charge that he's denied and federal investigators last year chose not to pursue. That's interesting. So you mean to tell me he was just a quiet boy at these sex parties? Really, y'all? Y'all really expect me to believe that? You expect me to believe that Matt Gaetz was at these drug parties, this underage drug illicit sex party, and he was the chaperone, he was the quiet boy, he didn't do anything wrong. Oh, I was just there, because, my friend was there, but, I really didn't do anything. I just sat in the corner. Yeah, right. One document does quote the girl saying she had sex with Dorworth in exchange for $1,000, an allegation Dorworth, who's now a lobbyist, has denied. A tale told in the documents, primarily a document submitted by Greenberg's ex-wife that recounts the evidence gathered as part of the suit. It includes descriptions of two separate parties at Dorworth's house a week apart, both attended by Gaetz through AB, the 17-year-old in question. Now, AB just completed her junior year at a local high school and drove her mother's car through the upscale community security entrance at about 6:15 p.m. on July 15th, 2017, the date of the first party. Now, upon arrivals, attendees were told to put their cell phones into a large bowl on a counter, apparently to prevent photos and videos. Yeah. Because, if I'm going to engage in illegal and illicit activity, sure, we won't want any kind of evidence to get out through, Facebook posts, retweets, and other mechanisms, right? We don't want no, sex, drug, fuel, illicit party being posted on Instagram, right, Matt Gaetz? So, of course, they were told to put their cell phones in a large bowl on a counter. Now, the party went on. She was bucket naked amongst the adult attendees, according to material in the document from Greenberg's ex-wife, Abby, attributed to an affidavit from one of the escorts identified as KM. Now, besides Gaetz, Dilworth and Greenberg were also at the party at the 8,200 square foot, 6-bedroom home on Westerbrook Court, according to KM. Now, Greenberg had taken office as Seminole's tax collector just 6 months earlier. Now, Jacob Bliss, a spokesman for the Gaetz office, said in a small briefing that he had never participated in the alleged events. Yeah, okay, sure. Tell me anything. But Greenberg's family and other defendants are seeking to recoup hundreds of thousands of dollars spent in attorney fees, court costs, and other expenses defending themselves against the litigation. That led to the filing of hundreds of pages of documents on Thursday night. Other material collected as part of the case remains sealed, including an interview with AB, although it is briefly excerpted in the material from Abby Greenberg. The excerpt quotes the underage girl as saying she engaged in various sexual activities with Dilworth at a hotel in Lake Marion in summer 2017 while Greenberg watched. Really? Wow, Joe Greenberg. So this girl was getting ran through by this dude, and you sat there and watched that? You sat there and watched that. What else you do, Joe Greenberg? Did you pull out your genetic jackhammer and you start jacking off too? Huh? You sick freak. She also says that at the conclusion of the encounter, Mr. Greenberg provided her with an envelope with $1,000 in cash and said to her that this is from Chris words or to that effect. Now, Dilworth denied ever meeting the girl in a Friday text message interview with the Orlando Sentinel and said again that he did not have sex with her. He also said he did not attend the July 15th party at his house. Oh, so let me get this straight. Right? So there's a party going on at your house, but you didn't attend it. Where was you at? You was out of town? You was at McDonald's? Was you on a dinner date with your wife, if you had one? So there's a party going on at your house, but you didn't attend the party? Okay, so how the party get there then? Huh? Make it make sense. There's a party going on at your house, but you weren't at the party? So who threw the party there? Huh? Who threw the party? And if you didn't attend the party, then why was there a party at your house and you didn't know about it? Okay, so who threw the party then? Did your brother throw the party? If you have a brother? Did your sister throw the party? Did you have a long distance cousin that came in from out of town? He threw the party, right? You was out of town on business, and there's a party going on at your house, but you don't know about it? Come on now, look. My mom, look. I might have been born during the day. It just wasn't yesterday, okay? So, Christopher Dilworth, Matt Gaetz, y'all got to make this make sense. Your man's Joel Greenberg is rotting away in prison right now for the same thing y'all did. What that R. Kelly song say back in the day? Y'all got money together, bone honeys together. Right? Right? Y'all got money together, bone honeys together, and yet you ain't did nothing wrong. You squeaky clean. You ain't know nothing but no party that's going on in your house. So where was the party at there? Huh? So was the party in the living room? You got a 6-bedroom mansion. I'm pretty sure you got cameras around. You got surveillance cameras around this mansion. But what the fuck was going on behind mansion walls? Right? So make it make sense. So where was this party going on at, huh? You didn't know this party was going on in your house. You was outside on business, right? You ran the surveillance camera. Was the party going on in the basement? Was the party going on in one of the in the master bedroom where your homeboy was masturbating, right? And it's pretty fitting. You was in the master bedroom masturbating where your friend was while this thing was going on, right? So where was you at? Where was you at? You said you wasn't at home. Was you at Red Robin? Was you down in Opalaka at another cocaine-induced party? Huh? And then after you got done, you went to McDonald's, you bought out all the chicken nuggets, right? So where's the receipt for all the chicken nuggets, huh? And then when I go to McDonald's looking for chicken nuggets, I can't get no chicken nuggets because your hungry ass took all the goddamn chicken nuggets. So where was you at? Since you were not home at this illicit party that you allegedly got down with this girl, right? And there's $1,000 payment to this girl, but you weren't at this party. You weren't at your own house when this thing was going down. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Boy, I tell you, boy, hey man, y'all be lying to y'all motherfucking teeth, man. Hey, where the outrage at, huh? I want all you guys out there that was pissed off at Diddy, right? I want y'all to be just as mad as this man. This man is in the country impacting the way you live through the laws that they legislate. This man has the ability to make decisions that can impact your life, and there's no outrage behind this guy, huh? But we mad at Diddy, even though throughout the years we was out there dancing on his music and shit. Diddy don't even impact policy. This guy does. Diddy is just a probably like a multi-billion-dollar mogul. Yeah, he's an entertainer, but Diddy don't impact policy. This guy does. This guy was in the same room at the same time having these wild knockdown, drag out, rock 'em, sock 'em, sexual encounters or whatever like that, right? And ain't no outrage. Mm-mm-mm. So he said he wasn't there. He was at a friend's birthday party on a lake far away. Okay, so where was this lake at? Huh? Where was this lake at? Was it Lake Tahoe? Was it Lake Placid? Huh? What lake was it? Where was this lake at? Because see, he don't even specify what lake it was. Where's this lake at? You talk about, oh man, yeah, there was this, I wasn't there at my own house when this illicit drug-fueled sex party was going on. I was at a friend's birthday party at a lake far away. So where was this lake at? Huh? Again, you out here telling lies on TV. That's like the other day, I did a video about the tremendous, stupendous, pretentious, once in a generation type individual, right? And the Dalton mayor and the township supervisor, Tiffany Hanier, the super duper mayor, yay! When she had a nonprofit, she had a nonprofit called Tiffany Cares, right? It should call it the Tiffany Doesn't Care, but anyway, Tiffany Cares, right? And she went on Roland Martin's little shtick, and she talked about, oh yeah, there's this nonprofit cancer what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even get the word in my mouth right now. I'm having a goddamn brain fart. It was a nonprofit organization, right? There's a nonprofit organization that was committing all kinds of illegal activity with my name on it, but I don't know anything about it. I don't run it. It's just my name attached to this nonprofit organization that's committing all this illegal activity. Make it make sense. It doesn't. Look, if your name is attached to a program or a function that is committed illegal activity, right, and that it has the potential to bring you down, wouldn't you want to know everything about the program, right? That's what I can't stand about these politicians. They will sit up here and lie to your face and gaslight the goddamn public, knowing they're doing wrong, knowing their hands are all tied in that bullshit. And if you take money out of politics, you will wipe away 99% of this fucking bullshit that's going on. So, again, you mean to tell me there's a drug-fueled sex party going on at your house and you wasn't there? You was at a friend's house in in some lake far away to his birthday party. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. Because it don't make sense to me. Okay, so all those people that was at your house that was committing this illegal activity, they had drugs, they had, underage girls, all this stuff going on at your house. But you don't know anything about it. You wasn't there. Okay, so if that was the case, right, wouldn't you open an investigation as to what was going on at that house? Why was there underage girls and drugs going on in my house? Wouldn't you want to call the cops? Don't you have surveillance cameras? Wouldn't you want to call the cops to get the cops in there? And I'm pretty sure, okay, hold on, let me back up a little second because I got to really put my critical thinking skills to use here, right? Because that's what we do on this channel, right? Let me think about this for a second. You got a 6-bedroom house that is pretty big, real big, almost like mansion size, right? So that tells me you live in a gated community, right? So if you live in this gated community, then chances are the people that's coming to the house, they would have to go through security. So if they would have to go through security, that means their names would be on that list that the security guard would check people in and check people out. Well, may not say to check people out, but he would definitely check people in, and there would be a camera displaying as such, right? So why would you get the security guard who's checking people in and things of that nature to review the footage, review the log of everybody who came to that house, and then we can open up an investigation, and then we can round their asses up and then put charges on them if this illicit sex party was going on without your knowledge and without your authorization. Since you was at a friend's house, you didn't know that this party was going on, you wasn't there. Why won't that happen? So where was that at? Where's that investigation at? Where's that at? Why was that never a thing? Unless that was just all bullshit and you were at that house, your house more specifically, and you were involved in that illicit sex party, right? With this sex, drugs, rock and roll, right? Why aren't you in prison right now? Why isn't Matt Gaetz in prison right now? Your man Joe Greenberg taking the fall. He's rotting away in prison right now, wishing he made better choices in life. Why aren't you two in prison? So somebody got to make that make sense. Hey, any of you Matt Gaetz defenders out there, help me make this make sense, right? I want you to enlighten me and help me unpack this, man, because this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. Let's keep this 100. This is some bullshit. Now, attorneys for the defendants in Dover's federal lawsuit against Greenberg and his family and businesses, however, presented Dover with evidence that he received phone calls from a cell tower less than 2 miles from his Heathrow home to an area in Maitland several times in the afternoon on the day of the July 15th party. He then received calls even closer to his home on that evening, according to court records. So you were there. You were there. You were there. Look, I know that a lot of the individuals want to slurp up that slop that they get served to them, but I ain't the one that gets served slop. All right, you can't fool me with that bullshit, right? Because I'm smarter than the average bear. Ah, god damn it! Just keep your feet, man. Shit. Anyway, sorry, I'm trying to do a live stream and watching the game at the same damn time. Clemson is putting the foot in that ass. 45-7. Anyway. Oh, by the way, thank you for everybody that's tuning into this live stream. If you want to donate to the channel, there's the Cash App, there's the PayPal. Any and all donations are accepted and appreciated. See, this is the kind of analysis you ain't going to get nowhere else. You're not going to get this analysis on the Young Turks. You're not going to get this analysis on Fox News or Newsmax or Orient or ABC or wherever else. A week later, on July 22nd, a second party allegedly was held at the home, according to lawsuit documents from another female escort known as LP. The LP said Gaetz and Greenberg again were in attendance, along with several other call girls and lobbyists. Now, LP said she also was told to put her cell phone. Nice stiff on. She was also told to put her cell phone in a bowl on the counter when she walked into the house. It was her understanding that this was done because the partygoers didn't want any photographs or videos taken at the event. The party included alcohol, drugs, middle-aged men, and young, attractive women. She also made no allegation that Gaetz used illicit drugs or had sex with the escorts. Doesn't mean that he didn't, though. Just because she didn't see it didn't mean it didn't happen. Now, the U.S. Department of Justice on February 2023 decided against pursuing sex trafficking charges against Gaetz, whose house District 1 lies in the Florida Panhandle. The decision came after the Washington Post reported that federal prosecutors had credibility concerns with witnesses, including Joel Greenberg. But Joel Greenberg is in prison right now. This man is in prison. What do you mean? So you mean to tell me that a man is in prison right now for the same damn crime? Same damn crime. But he's not a credible witness. If anything, he's the star witness. Joel Greenberg is the star witness. You get this man to flip like pancakes on the skillet, and Matt Gaetz goes the fuck down. You mean tell me his credibility concerns? What are you talking about? Let's go, baby. Touchdown Clemson, baby. That's what I'm talking about, boy. Ass whooping. 51-7. That's right. Clemson is digging all up in that ass, man. 51-7, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep your foot on their neck. Anyway, sorry about that. Kind of hard to do live stream and getting into the game at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Anyway, let's continue on. Right now, there's an ethics committee continues on with its own investigation into whether Gaetz did have sex with AB when she was 17 years old. Greenberg, a friend of Gaetz and Dilworth when he was Seminole County tax collector from 2017 until June 2020, when he resigned after he was first indicted on several federal charges. The trio was often seen at parties at Dilworth's house, dining at restaurants in Orlando and Tallahassee. in the spring of 2019, they all visited D.C. with their families that took photos with then President Donald Trump on the White House lawn. This is what you see right here. That's that very party right there. Now, AB is now 25 years old and living out in Colorado where the deers, antelope, and buffaloes play. And Greenberg, as I stated many times on this live stream, he is currently serving an 11-year federal prison sentence after pleading guilty to identity theft, stalking, who the fuck you stalking? Conspiracy to bribe a public official, and child sex trafficking tied to AB. So again, this AB woman got this man, Joe Greenberg, off to the far right, put in the bean for 11 years. Now, how the fuck is Matt Gaetz and this man not in prison? Make it make sense. So, anywho, that's where I'm at on that. That's exactly where I'm at on that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just mind-boggling how you got black folks out here, you know what I'm saying? They could be the face of sexual predation, right? And then you got this guy running around here affecting policy. This guy here affects policy. And yet, there's no outrage towards him. Some bullshit. You guys let me know what y'all think about that, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're not subscribing to this channel, make sure to subscribe button, hit that like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Ho!